Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. Now in the last episode, I started building out the leisure part of the city by the waterfront, adding this lovely spa, resort, and hotel, amongst other unique buildings like the casino, and a variety of nightclubs, some a little bit more trashy than others. Since then, I've also live-streamed building out a small fishing village along the far edges of our coast, where I'd kind of pre-made some of the roads and the layout, the foundations or the framework to actually build that. So to get us started in this episode, I've got a quick time-lapse of building that area out, and then today, we're going to continue adding to the fishing area, the nightlife district, and also a new commercial center. So let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so to kick us off, I'm building out a pier all the way along the water there to create an artificial bay, as it were. And inside the bay is where we're going to build fish farms, and outside on the pier, we can have a harbor. So the fish farms are just going to do local fishing. They use those sort of nets or whatever they are to breed fish, catch them locally, all well and good. On the outside, we can build a harbor where we actually send out the trawlers to go seeking fish further out, I guess. So we actually learned on the stream, I didn't know this, but you can actually change the type of fish that appear in water based on landscaping tools. The deeper the water, you get like shellfish and stuff like that. If it's just kind of a regular height, you get anchovies. If it's in a river, you can get salmon. And if it's in a very fast-moving river or a deep river, one or the other, you get tuna. So that's quite interesting. I didn't know you could actually change it yourself, basically, by just landscaping the water. And that gives you access to a variety of fish, although I don't really know what the differences is, because it seems like the fish factory just takes whatever and then it just turns it into commercial goods anyway, but maybe I'll need to look a bit deeper into that. Anyways, so what I've done, I've just put a warehouse down that's going to be specialized for gathering fish, obviously, and then an industrial road that's going around the back of it, because this is going to be a little mini factory area, right? So some buildings and some industry is going to be there just for fishing before we have the village at its back. Just built out the route for the trawlers to move around, and now we're doing the actual suburbs. So again, cul-de-sacs are my best friend here for making a kind of organic looking, interesting, random almost layout with hopefully not much traffic. I mean, we're never going to get much traffic in these places because it's low density housing, and obviously with the realistic population mod, you're only dealing with 1 or 2 adults per household, so there's just not many people moving around here down in the suburbs. But just for variety's sake, I wanted to throw in a couple of roundabouts just to make it look kind of interesting, at least I thought so. And then we have the central square here, which is going to be where the services and the education is going to go. So generally speaking, I didn't want to give them too much education, but I did end up putting down a high school, because we have a big demand for it, basically. I'm just trying to think, was that a good idea? But yeah, I don't know, because you'll see later in the episode, it sometimes says we've got too many overeducated, then other times it's like not enough educated. I have to keep rebuilding the factories to kind of reshuffle people and get them to go where they're supposed to. Anyways, going off topic. So effectively, we've got a little elementary school down first, placing a soccer field at their back. One day they hope to play the big leagues, make it into the stadium in the heart of the downtown area. They've got a little cafe next to them. There's a really nice kind of brick version of it, which I think works well for the kind of suburb feel we're going for. And then a small, tiny playground that has 4 different variants. One actually has like built-in basketball kind of hoop or net. And there's a few other ones there as well, like a little soccer net and things like that. So I think I went for one that complemented the soccer field that it was next to. So put down a medical clinic, little parking next to it, just across from the train station, a little pathway that leads out to break up the different commercial areas, the zoning that we have there, just to break it up a bit. Child healthcare center near the elementary school, that's a favorite of mine. I always put those two together typically. A reoccurring theme, I guess. I was thinking if we could fit something in between the little gap that was created there. So I've actually just put down a custom modded building called the Phoenix High School. That's what that high school, that kind of interesting looking building is. And then there's a smaller library that's going next to it as well, which is the JP library, I think, on Steam. So there'd be 2 different buildings there, but there they are next to each other, basically. The theme doesn't really fit together, really. The high school is quite eclectic for this area, whereas everything else does look quite similar. But I don't know, I just thought it'd be nice to go with a smaller looking high school, basically. Not that it's impossible, you do see that every now and then happening in real life. Just kind of a more artistic building being plopped down somewhere. At the back was actually, a user suggestion was to have a volleyball court, beach volleyball court. So I figured, well, we are close enough to the beach, so why not? So they've got that at the back of the school. And you can kind of see that, maybe they've got their own volleyball court. You know, they go down to the beach, the kids will be playing on the beach, and then they kind of wanted the school to actually have a facility there for them to get serious about it, take it national. See how they do. So just zoning some of the areas. Obviously the residential's all zoned a little bit of the industry at the front,
just figuring out then, again, this was on stream, so a lot of trial and error has been cut out of trying different buildings here. Playgrounds, dog parks, those kind of things that could fit in maybe at the back of near the back of the school, I guess, in this area. So I ended up going with a series. So we got a tennis court, a basketball court, and then a series of those tiny playgrounds, which have changed their model based on what they are. So next to the basketball court, I made the 2 basketball versions, so 2 mini versions. It's almost like the kids can go to those ones, and the other ones are for the high school, or maybe you pay for them because they're fenced in and stuff like that. I don't know. Quite happy with the overall look and feel, and we'll take a look more in depth in the episode. The only thing missing was the plaza here at the back of the high school. So the picnic tables actually match the volleyball court, so it looked like it was all kind of part of one area. It worked out well.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's the crack of dawn. Time to wake up and go fishing. We have our quaint little fishing village here, tentatively just called Docktown for now, because I couldn't really think of a good name for it, and I didn't really see anything in the chat that quite fit the aesthetic or the theme of the area, right? Being a kind of a coastal seaside fishing village, whatever. So if you got suggestions, please do leave them in the comments, and I'll probably just democratically choose whatever's the most upvoted, so long as it isn't like Fart Town or something. So if we don't come up with something better than Fart Town, I'm just going to call it Docktown. Or I'll see if I can come up with a name for it in the future. Things that would kind of spring to mind would be something like Malahide, because that's where, in Ireland, there's like a kind of a fishing village that became kind of bougie and stuff later. This is a bit more industrial, blue-collar workers, maybe a little bit lower class, generally speaking, for wealth. Potentially. Not guaranteed. Depends on the type of fishing, how this place levels up and grows eventually, I guess. Anyway, so just those are some ideas that you could throw out. Rosslare could be another one. These are Irish-themed ones. Doesn't have to be, though. We've got a hybrid mix of names all over the place, to be honest. American, English, Irish. So, right, one thing I wanted to touch on really quickly was another thing we did in this stream, which was working on traffic. We're always working on traffic, and one of the big things that helped ease congestion, actually, was changing this roundabout here. So we just built this in the last episode. This roundabout is one of the 2 areas that we connect our suburbs over to our downtown area. And I believe at the moment it is pretty much rush hour, 8:30 a.m., and traffic has improved slightly, although I think I've got a few ideas of how we could improve it today again a little bit further. But I won't spend too long on it. I'm just going to make one small change. Anyways, so this roundabout we made previously, and it was a 3-lane roundabout, and I did all my lane connections, and everything was basically fine, but we were getting a little bit of traffic backing up beyond one of the junctions somewhere over here, and I think maybe this one here, because it's quite close. So on the live stream chats, on your recommendations, we've improved it slightly, and it's definitely improved. I made slight changes that have massively improved it, I would say. So the first one is this bypass. Cargo vehicles can now take the bypass by going straight underneath the road here and just coming out where the industrial area connects to it. So remember, this industrial road is trucks only. It's cargo only. And service vehicles, I guess. So it's nice to see that they're using it. No private vehicles can use it, but what we were finding... God, I can't speak today. What we were finding was that cars couldn't get onto the roundabout. It's just so backed up from people flushing out of the northern part here, or the trams were getting in the way, whatever the case might be, right? It's a complicated affair. We've got trams, streams of cars and traffic, and all sorts trying to use this place. So that massively helped cargo get to where it was trying to go. The other aspect was cargo coming out. It was also getting backed up. So we've made changes now to make this a 4-lane, which means the 2 inner lanes are reserved pretty much for the other sides of the roundabout going around, and the 2 outer lanes are reserved for if you just want to take the first exit. So I was seeing a bunch of cargo vehicles trying to go this way, because where they're trying to get to is the commercial areas down here. So that's kind of the quickest way they can get there, because there isn't really... You could go this way and then cut in, but it's less efficient. This is like a bigger arterial road, so they tend to prefer to use that. And so we can see they've got now more lanes to do it, and it's massively reduced the traffic congestion at this area. So I just thought I should point it out, just because it's a complicated roundabout now. It's got this tram thing going through the center, 4 lanes on this side, 3 around the other sides. We have tram and bus lanes being backed up. We have a cargo-only road on one side. We have a bridge and a toll on the opposite end of it. You know, it's a very messy and complicated, very real-world style roundabout, I would say, where things were just added onto it almost over time. At least for the UK, roundabouts are kind of like that. Alright, anyway, so just wanted to point out that has massively helped. One thing that's going to be experimental for me, right? We're at 75. Not bad for the morning rush hour, although you can see some junctions that just have heavy use, right? Although they're not getting backed up, at least. One thing I was thinking, a little bit of a radical idea, but we always have traffic on this road here, and it's mostly between the kind of stadium area and the edge of Oakwood Gardens here, right? That's roughly where it always seems to persist. And that's because of the way traffic kind of flows out of the cargo area as well. One other change actually worth mentioning is even the trains are starting to get backed up, so now the cargo line has its own separate line that it doesn't have to cross over the passenger lines. And that's freed up the quote-unquote traffic on the rail quite significantly as well. Alright, so my radical idea here is that we're going to ban private vehicles from using this road. And instead, private vehicles that come in, they're just going to have to turn right, basically, and find a different way in. Or they can choose to come into the city at a different part of the highway, and therefore they can follow this road in and get in and around to where they want to go. So let's say, basically the idea here is if you want to get to this part of the city, you should really be using this road. I feel like they're all using this one. Maybe they're coming from the east, that's fair enough, but we want them to go just a little further down the highway and then cut in. So that's the idea. So I could just prevent a left-hand turn, but I don't want that to be the case. I want the cargo vehicles still to be able to get to their, you know, the cargo port, basically the service point and the actual terminal. So that's kind of the idea. So it's a little radical, but we'll just see how it plays out. If it doesn't work, we'll just toggle it back on. Hopefully we don't get any grid locking because of it. So I'll hold shift, but there's lots of segments here. So actually just pause time. So we're just going to ban it. No private vehicles coming in or out, I think. And we'll just see how that goes. Okay, and is that as far as we want to go, or do that other this segment as well, and that'll be it. Okay, so this has a weird effect though, or it will do, because this train station generates cars. And the only way they have to get out is to go out down this way onto a road that they're banned. I don't know what would happen if we just let time play, where they're going to go. People are actually coming out right now, so we actually might even see some cars trying to figure out what to do. Like that guy right there. He was just driving along and then he just got out. And his car just disappeared. So what I'm going to do instead now, I haven't tested this, so I really don't know how it's going to go, but reverse the direction of this. Can I undo that? Put that path back. Let's turn off collision just for a sec. There we go. So we're going to tell them that they have to go around this way. And then this is a two-way road, but I'm going to make it a one-way and see how that treats us. So it's a bit experimental, I'll admit. But now I'm hoping that cars that generate here get forced out this way. They are going to merge with some of the cargo traffic, kind of, because I've actually banned cargo traffic from turning right? So trucks aren't allowed to come down this way. If you remember, trucks have to go out onto this road, and then they can go around to wherever they want. So it is getting complicated. It's layers of rules upon layers of rules. The major one just being this. Trucks have to go straight and get onto this. Then they're basically free to go wherever. Actually, they can't turn on this road either, actually thinking about it. But they're basically free after that, right? They can come down any other street, get to wherever they want to go. I want more people using this outer road. And we can see that's happening now. It wasn't for a long time. But as we build out this area here, it's gonna increase, I guess. So that's one rule, right? So trucks have to go out this way. The other rule is private cars, personal cars, coming along this way, can't turn in this way. So they can only go that way, right? So they can only go, on our screen, left. So that poses a problem. How do you get around to here? Now, they could take a left. They have to pass by the pedestrian streets. They have to go really deep into the city, come down and around. I'm hoping that instead they determine that the best route is to go in this way, because this would be the fastest road in if they were living somewhere like Fairview or even in King Heights. So let's see how it all shakes out. Now we've got the problem of the pedestrians coming out of the train station often generate vehicles. Well, now I'm just forcing them to go around. This means that this road, there's two ways in now. That might be weird. I don't know. Maybe it's better. Just get rid of some of the trees that have appeared and then we'll let time play. Alright. So, very last thing then, I guess, would be just making sure the lane connections make sense for this now. So, no one's turning here. I guess, yeah, you're allowed to turn in there if you want. And I guess so are you. I don't know if you'll ever need to do that, but there you go. So if you haven't done it by then, I guess you go into this one if you want to drop someone off at the station. And you go into this one if you're just working your way up and around for whatever reason. That seems to be the difference there. Last thing then, I've noticed there's parking here. There shouldn't be any parking there. That's what the car parks are for.
And then lastly, collision is off. Yeah, we'll turn that back on now. Okay, cool. Hopefully everybody can follow along. Seems pretty straightforward. I didn't actually mention this. We got 2 modded buildings in. There's actually a few modded buildings. Let me just touch on those really quickly. So they've been added to the description already retroactively. The first one is this one, right? We left a big empty gap down here because it's where one of the old cargo service points was. And now I've added a building called the Cosine Building. It's just a nice looking landmark building. I couldn't tell you what it's supposed to do or what it is, but it's like a landmark, fancy looking building. It would work well in an office block maybe, so we could always move it in the future, but I do like where it is now. And then you just have a new pathway that goes in and cuts in behind it. So that's the Cosine Building. The other modded building then would be this one here. This is the Community Center. So I need to dress this up a little bit. I just threw it in where the old one was. So we still have this old fence that's kind of coming over and stuff. But I think it works well here. It looks nice. And it pretty much fits that area quite nicely. What the hell was that? What was that noise? It sounded like a building falling down or something, right? Wow, that was really weird. It's also super loud. Anyways, I don't see where it would have happened. The other thing I was going to do here, though, is just bring a pathway in and just connect that area up there. And that way we can say, like, yeah, it all kind of fits and it's done. So it still needs to be kind of, you know, beautified slightly. But other than that, pretty happy with it. So lastly, then, there's these 2 ones. This is a large downtown parking garage or garage. So again, it's actually a landmark building, but it is technically like a car park. People go there and then they get out and do other things. So it kind of works. You know, it's kind of how parking works in this game. Is they're like tourism buildings. So people who need to get to somewhere can choose this destination, get out, and then go somewhere else. It's kind of strange how it works. Counts as visits and tourism. And then we have a medium shopping mall. This is by the same author that has done the high school and a few of the other ones I have. So I think in total now I've got around 10, maybe between 10 and 15 custom workshop buildings in the game. So this is again just temporary. I just wanted to put it down and see what it looked like. Probably will build out this square to be some sort of commercial area. But let's just stop talking about building and actually get building now. So quickly, I'm just going to take a look at our situation. We have 6% unemployment. We've added a bunch of factories out here. We've got a demand for factories. So we're going to go back out to our very original first estate, industrial estate here, and we're going to repaint all this in. And rezone it. So hopefully everyone will just take the jobs that they need in there. And we'll see how employment shakes out. Now, I think we've got too many overeducated workers. That's going to provide a bunch of low-tier education. So we probably want to do offices or something like around here. So this hotel has a need for shopping, and it's not getting any. Even though it's right next to shops, it just doesn't count. It's just a little too far. I got to say, the restrictions on that are really hurtful. Same with this one. I don't even think this will ever fill up based on just the distance it's going to be to even these shops. So I'm just trying to think. I know I'm a bit all over the place. I'm trying to think what to do first. The village or this area? Let's go with the village. And let's work on this a bit more. Alright, so one thing I wanted to add in was a pedestrian fence. And what would that be called? Suburban fence, I think it's called. There we go. And we'll choose the curved tool. Well, I need to start off straight. I'm going to bring it along this way. Maybe a bit further in, actually. Oh, I've got an idea. Could I do a parallel tool? I could. Let's do the pathway first. So a little back street pathway. It's at the back of these houses would be nice. To be honest, we could parallel the road. Now we're thinking with portals. Alright, so parallel from here to there to here. Cut it in. Move it over. God, I'm gonna miss this in Cities Skylines 2. This is so good. And it'll be a while before we get mods, it seems. Alright, just trying to get away from those houses. Make sure we're not destroying anything. Seems like a decent amount of spacing between us and them. Alright. Now, parallel to that, we'll build that fence. That's strange, I can't choose the end bits. I guess as they connect to the road or something. I suppose I could just do that myself, though. So that'd be a suburban fence. Would that be weird? Or should it be an industrial fence?
It's to keep the industrial side of things away from, you know, the people here. And I'll probably change this path so that it actually has some trees. But I'm just trying to think, should the suburban fence go on this side? Or that side? I don't know. God, I could spend ages on that. Because I'm just trying to think, what's the most real, like, practical reason that this path would exist? I kind of think that the fence should go on that side. So that they have their gardens, their space, and then it's just a fence. They don't actually... And then maybe little gates would be the thing that would lead you out onto this path if you wanted, right? And then maybe somewhere back further we could have another fence if we wanted it, or just leave it open. That makes the most sense to me, I think. Anyway, we'll see what you guys say, but yeah, I'll go with this then. We'll push it in just a tiny bit there. Alright, so that's the first stage of the suburban fence. I'll just continue it all the way down, finish it off. Suppose if we just do a bit more of the road, or the path. Something like that. We can put another house in there. Yeah, let's just continue this. So we'll do the parallel tool again, just to continue this over. Ah, crap. Can I undo that? Don't know. No, I don't think so. Sorry, I'm just going to have to get rid of that really quickly. I didn't push it in a little bit, and then I have to connect the nodes. So, let's try it again. Alright, parallel tool selected. Select all the way over to there. Push it in a bit. Just by one. Boom. Then I think we can use the node connection tool. So you just... I don't know if I can find the other one, though. Well, you know what? I can't see the gap anyway, so why am I even bothering? It's fine, right? It looks seamless to me, so it's good enough. Alright, and then we'll just push this one in, because it's come a bit too far. Alright, now let's upgrade that path. And something with trees would be nice. Park path with decorations. Zoo path with decorations. Yeah, I guess park path with decorations. We could change the type of tree then, maybe. Oh my god. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm not entirely sold on it. We'll just do a regular path and I'll put down my own trees. I think that'd be better. That's nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Alright, so let's just fill some of these areas in a bit quicker now. So that's going to be suburban houses as well. Pretty much all along here. I don't see why not. We want to connect some of these areas up with pathways, actually. I have a bad habit of doing the buildings first and then then looking at the paths and going, oh, I don't want to remove houses. So let's get this to come out somewhere like here. You want to go straight down to the corner? Actually, yeah, why not? Amazingly, that didn't... Is it because collision is off? Oh yeah, I guess so. I actually want to remove the zones. Sorry. And then we'll figure out how the houses can fit in and around that. So, something like that. And something like that's probably good enough. Two little houses on the side there. We'll put trees next to these in a moment. And then, I think... A couple of we have dog parks here, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe a playground or something could go there. Let's see. If you have one that's kind of small, the small playground. Yeah, that'll fit. So I'll just pop it down somewhere here, and then we'll just move it. I think you still get the radius benefit. There we go. That's nice. All right. Yeah. So then I guess just zoning. Zoning. So we'll have to, not sure how to do this. Can we put that back down there? And then just delete this now? And then I think the zoning has come back. Yeah, good. Alright, well yeah, let's just fill all this in then. I would say as well, maybe upgrade the zoning here.
so that we get rid of these two houses and this one becomes a proper full house. Probably look a little bit better. This one could maybe be upgraded actually to have zoning on both sides. Yeah, not perfect, but a bit better. And this one too. Good. Alright, let's get some houses in there and there. We could maybe build a path between this. Maybe just like a dirt path for this one. Okay. And if we want, maybe we could break it off somewhere. One or two. No, I think it's probably fine. It's not really that long of a stretch. Where else? This could definitely go over this way. Connect into the park, maybe. What the hell is this? What even is this? I don't know what I've selected. Delete? Okay, hopefully that doesn't break anything. Yeah, I thought this would auto-merge. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Something like that. Bring this maybe over to the right. And we'll put trees around this again to make it look a bit better. I think that's pretty much it for this. The next thing would be... Yeah, I don't think we need any more houses in front of where the rail splits there. It's already probably not great to live next to the rail like that. And maybe continue this out further to the left. I wish we had steps. It would look quite nice. It doesn't look too bad like that, but steps would be good. Alright, cool. Should we leave it at that? So this would be extra industry, I think. Either another factory or maybe we could put down another warehouse or something. So to give you the layout basically, so we have 1, 2, 3 regular fish farms here. And then we have a fishing harbor with a patrol that leads all the way around. Don't know if we can just see that real quick. Oh yeah. Oh, it's industry. There we go. Yeah, so we've got it going around picking up different types of fish and stuff. When we upgrade this, I think when we get a certain amount of fish coming in, our fishing industry will unlock so that we can build anchovies specifically, or we can build shellfish specifically. A shellfish fishing harbor. So that could be built somewhere over there, or just connect this out a little further and they can work in that area. This is actually way too big of an area. I wasn't sure how big it needed to be. The ships they get full by the time they get to about here. So it's a bit ridiculous, but it kind of looks nice watching them go around, so I just leave it. And it doesn't really change anything anyway. So our places are filling up with fish just fine. So we have a medium warehouse here. We have a fish market here. So medium warehouse just filled to the brim with fish, and then a fish factory which is turning it into commercial goods, and then they take it out hopefully from here onto the highway, or sometimes they'll bring it in directly into the city. So that's kind of how that's working at the moment. So let time play, let this place start to fill up again, and we'll have to extend this place out that way as well. So while this area is growing, maybe we'll hop over to the coastline and then we'll have a look back at that in a moment. Alright, so we need to do kind of a similar thing here. I would say, just on a wing and a prayer, we're going to grab the regular road here. Actually, you know what? Just grab this one. Turn my grid back on and... Let's see, maybe bring this out this way. Yeah, difficult. Just continue that for a second just to move that node. It's hard to just get this to be straight. So something like that, I guess. That's basically straight, I think. I know what I should do. Is just come down from this one straight and then connect it. That would make more sense. I'm just worried about the zoning breaking, so we'll just do that. There we go. So just a little bend at the end. Now that does mean there's a node right there, but it might be okay. It shouldn't be that busy of a place, I don't think. So how's our zoning looking? A little broken, a little disjointed, but not too bad. I would bring this all the way down to here and then bring that up. So that's a small road and that's a big one. We are going to get a lot of traffic here. This place, a lot of cars do come through here. Also, something I noticed I need to fix. The cars still have this problem where they slow down here for no reason. It turns out that this is the problem. I don't know why it's the problem, but it is. So if I can either remove this connection or change how it works, that would be beneficial, I think. So let's just see real quickly. Roads, please. Roads. I want to de-unionize it. Split the node. Click to split the node and align to terrain height. Did that do it? It did. So that's split now. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a sec. Just move this all the way in. So it looks really weird, but I want people to still be able to walk between the two areas, so I'm hoping they'll just be able to do that. Is that a node? Oh, it is a node now. Yeah, now it doesn't need to be one, right? So that can go. And this can just be center aligned. Okay, good. So, bit weird, I admit. Maybe that will do it. I'm hoping people can still walk to the two areas. Between the two areas. And is this segment still aligned? Yeah, it's still center aligned. Okay, good. Well, let's see how that goes for traffic. So now we shouldn't see cars waiting here anymore. Just give it a minute. Damn, they're still waiting. I don't get it. Why? I was so sure that that would do it. Oh yeah, no, it is actually working. It is. They're not stopping anymore. They used to stop even when there was nothing there, and now they're just going. Yeah, okay, it worked. It worked. Speed? What's the speed on the road? 40 the whole way across? Okay. Nice. Okay, good. At least that's kind of solved. I noticed that that was backing things all the way up to here. Something people asked me to do is actually change the trees to be the kind of like Vice City trees or Miami trees, I guess. So we have content creator packs, but we need to find the content creator trees. A generic date palm. Would that be too big or too small? That looks pretty good. It looks the same as the ones on the spa resort hotel, actually. So let's go with that. And maybe just go all the way down to there, because that's the kind of strip, right? Yeah, it looks pretty cool, actually. You guys are right. I don't know if it fits the climate. I think someone pointed out, based on the coordinates where we are, we're like somewhere near Iceland or something, but you'd never know. It's fine. The weather's pretty good here. I actually have rain turned off for a long time. We should turn it back on sometime. So yeah, I'd say that, you know, we probably need to change some of the trees that are in here, but that's a bit of effort, so I'll do that maybe later myself. But yeah, we'll try to make the theme consistent, especially around the casino. I'm just trying to see if it's done on the path anywhere. There we go. Yeah, it looks cool. Cool vibes. It would be cool to make a... I think this is actually a very popular thing. I could be wrong. Is City Planner Plays... He has that Verde beach. I actually haven't really watched it, but I know his logo for it is really, like, memorable. And it has, like, that 80s palm tree with the setting sun and the kind of synth lines or whatever going in the background. So I assume... I was just going to say, it'd be cool to build out a beach town kind of thing like that. I'm guessing that's what it is. Verde Beach, I'm assuming. Alright, so have we grown in some peeps here? Starting to, kind of. And we'll need... I kind of want to add another warehouse, because this is getting super full, and the freight trucks are constantly in use. So it seems like we need another one, because they can't export fast enough. So I'm just going to build another one in a line right here. Is collision on? Yes, it is. Or, actually, to make it look a little bit better, we could turn it maybe sideways. That look, just to make it look less uniform. We'll select, yeah, balance is fine, whatever. Fish. Now we should see people delivering it even from anywhere nearby. What's our unemployment at now? Still 6%, even with the huge amount of factories we grew. I think that's because of the over-education. So let's continue back over on this side. Like I said, we want some offices. So I had another unique building here that I can't remember what I was going to place in, but I remember thinking it'd be cool. So let's just have a quick look through them. It's a modded building, sorry. Unique modded building. So this one, I've got a few. Cancer Research Center looks awesome. Definitely, I mean, it's a weird thing to say, like, that's an awesome building, but at least they're doing good work. The Data Mining Agency is really cool as well. The Eco Office, oh, I remember. It's the Event Hall. I thought this would be a good one to put somewhere here, and it actually fits, oh my god, it fits perfect. It's the Event Hall. And then, yeah, maybe nearby some offices or something. Because we have offices on the other side of the street, right? Oh, it's a mix. Interesting choice. It's a mix of stuff. But yeah, that's alright by me. So, I'll tell you what, we'll do offices facing... I feel like, should they be facing out or facing in? Oh man, I'm so indecisive today. I don't know what it is. So part of me thinks like, yeah, shops should be on the kind of more busier main street, the offices maybe behind them, right? That makes sense to me. But it's also just a bit weird to have offices down here, but whatever. So we'll do that. Paint them in. And there's a big demand for highly educated jobs right now. So I actually might replace these if they're looking wrong. No, they're looking... Yeah, because we got a lot of highly educated in here. So tell you what, just to readdress the balance... I know we did just put this all down, but can I keep that on? No? The zoning on while I delete? Guess not. It's gonna... Whoop. Gonna delete some of these. We'll just put them back down in a moment. And I gotta delete them. Just to make sure we get rid of the... Reset the workforce. And then I'll just remove some of the zoning now. Because they don't seem to recalibrate where they need to go unless the building levels up. So if it hits its max tier, then we're just kind of out of luck, I guess, for a while. Alright, that should reset the balance of jobs and education, because that's just something I keep having a problem with. It says, like, you have too many educated workers, right? So they're taking all the low-end jobs. So then I built out a whole place and didn't give them any education for a while to create a lower educated workforce. And then immediately the opposite problem was happening. So it's like, god damn. So I'm really struggling to find that, like, sweet spot of the middle ground between, like, you're adding the right amount of industry for the right amount of people. It's like, I know... See, the problem is this. I can see the percentage, I guess, of how many people have a certain education. Are these people all part of your workforce? Because if that's the case, then it means that I need 48% of my jobs should be catering to highly educated, right? So that would say like maybe 40% of all my industries needs to be offices or things that require high education. And I don't know. Is there a way to see how much of my zoning is currently... Offices? Yeah, office, industrial, commercial, and residential. Well, we don't need to see residential. Let's just show me these. So offices is the orange line. 1193. So I guess mathematically you could almost try to figure it out, but that wouldn't really work because the mods we're using, certain office buildings have like 1,100 workers in them. So you don't need as many offices, I guess. Now, I just thought about something. What kind of district rules are here for you guys for city planning? Small business enthusiasm, taxation, tax raise for offices. Nah. A tax relief for offices. Let go of leisure. Oh, that's interesting. So leisure specialized areas stop generating tax. Oh my god, excuse me. But get a hefty boost in their entertainment and attractiveness values. So you don't get any money from them. But the people around it get happier, I guess. This is just called Valley at this point. Anyway, let's just keep going. I'm just gonna change that song. Let's put on a nighttime song, seeing it's getting late. Nightlife starting up. Do we need another road to cut through there? No, but a path might be nice, so let's get another pathway. The Love Club is online. Just cut straight across here. Alright, something like that. We can grab one of those trees. Okay. And this is just going to be shops. More commerce. Offices are starting to pop in. People actually mentioned, by the way, that, see, once our residential districts level up, we get a lot of the same looking buildings. Because they've maxed out, they've hit their final level,
And they just keep building and building all the way up into that. And someone was saying like, oh, you should make your districts historic so that they stay a certain way. Otherwise, this district will look the same as that one eventually. And I do like the look of this now. It's like, yeah, that's pretty good. You know, maybe go up one more level, but after that, just leave it. But I don't know how to do that. When you click a district, you can set their style. Policies, I don't know a way to make it historic, like just to say the whole building without going into each building, which, come on. I could do, but like I really don't want to, but if I have to, I might do it with certain buildings, I guess. All right, our shops are appearing nicely. I love seeing the little fishing trawlers out there now. Looks really good. And these guys are growing nicely as well. So let's give them some trees. Generic pine tree. I don't think pine really works for this area. Let's go with these ones. Love seeing people using my path already. It's nice. I don't want to use the line tool. Sometimes it looks a bit more natural when they're just kind of intermittently placed. Oh yeah. You need one in the center of each roundabout. And thinking about it, I don't know if you're following roundabout rules here. Really. Yeah, so everyone has the option to go into both lanes because it's a small roundabout, so that's totally fine. And then going around, you have the option to get out to those ones, but you've only got the option to leave. Yeah, that works. So as you're going around, you can push out to the next lane, and that lane will always take you out. Not that I have to do this, I mean, it's not a busy place. We'll just do it this one. I know some people don't like the amount of time I spend on these. I actually quite like doing this now, because I feel like I finally kind of cracked it, basically. You know what? Might be a great name for this place. Silent Hill. Because it's so foggy out by the edge of the map. It's kind of not a bad name. Something like that, or I'm playing Alan Wake Remastered at the moment. I've never played it before. The original. And I think that town is named Bright Falls. It's, again, a similar sort of vibe to the place, I would say, in terms of its color palette. Worth mentioning that we do have a train that brings people to and from. 102 people on it. Super popular. It's just one carriage, actually. I've been thinking of increasing it because I've noticed that... So basically, we have a train that goes from this stop to the central station and then back. That's all it does. I mean, you could imagine it would go along the coast hitting other destinations, but the way our layout is, it's just hitting Docktown then going back out. It's a yellow-looking train, so you can always spot it to know which one it is. There is also a bus route here, which is a yellow route also. And the bus route is doing the exact same thing that the train is doing, which I don't know if that's a bad idea or not, except it has 2 stops. Hang on a second. Uh-oh. Something disastrous has happened. Looks like my plan has not worked at all. Oh, I know what's wrong. It's just this guy, though, is it? Oh, he's just bugged. That's all. It's not my problem, then. Just get rid of him and it should work. Wow, he did. That's a proper traffic jam right there. Jamming up my speech pattern. Yeah, I think it'll flush out now. That was, sometimes that happens. Doing lane connections and changing how rules work can mess up the trams. But you just delete the tram. Another one will roll out later to replace the one that's gone, and then everything should start working again. But we'll have to wait for the green light for these guys. So who's in our bus lane right now? We have a bus, a taxi, and a garbage truck. That's fine. As long as there's no private cars, I guess I'm fine with it. Good. Alright, anyway, what I was going to say is we can actually just about see the bus, is it? These yellow... No, it's not that one. It will be a yellow bus like this. What I had noticed, it's probably not happening now because so many of them got stuck, is that... Yeah, look, 33 actually. So that's central to fishing. Central. There's 36 on that one, 36 on this, 33. So I've noticed that there's just a lot of people taking the bus rather than just taking the train. I don't know why. They go to the same place, but the bus picks you up in 2 different destinations. It'll pick you up here, which you can see there's a huge amount of people waiting, or at the station itself. So in thinking about it, it's like, well, this is kind of a redundant route, right? You want them to just take the train, ultimately.
I had thought that would probably add other bus stops in and around this place. The idea was that people who are coming in from the city might want to just go to school, and maybe they would just take the bus or something, because that's why we stop outside the school here. But yeah, in thinking about it, it just seems a bit redundant to have literally the same route in operation, just two methods of transport. But I don't know. It doesn't really cause any problems. It gives people options. But yeah. I guess it adds more vehicles to our bus routes. God, this is still backed up. I'm just waiting for them to flush out still. Anyways, so another thing I wanted to do was we want to connect this area over to here and start building out this area and this area. That's going to be happening soon, and we're still working on this as well as it's growing. So our offices are coming in now. Excuse me. Yeah, and then I'll probably make this all offices here, all the way down to the waterfront. And then this is just going to be more residential. And that's a nice sound buffer, like a, you know, a noise pollution buffer between the two areas. So let's do that. I'm so all over the place today. It's just like a million small things I want to do, rather than develop any one major area out. How are we looking contour line-wise? So there's a bit of a decline as you get down to the coast there. But I'm pretty much fine with how these are laid out. We could do something sort of creative. Give me that path. Could bring it in here maybe. Just about fit between there, and maybe just take a sharp left or something, go straight across. Yeah. Alright, so we'll fill this with offices. Just really quickly though, I'm just gonna get rid of that bit and that bit. Oh my god. God, they came out of nowhere. Alright. And then just make these little shops / clubs. This is all leisure as well still. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Just see what happens. If it looks good, it looks good. If it doesn't, we delete it. Because this district is still being assigned the policy for a leisure district. Do we have any other district things we could do for the offices? Specializations. Wall to wall. Financial. No office specialization or an IT cluster. IT clusters are massive, so we don't want that. Organic and local produce, yeah. Alright, we just find that same tree that we've been using before, the date tree, the date palm tree. Upgrade these guys. And we're going to need more commerce, probably a mix of both actually, really. Commerce and offices here, and that could maybe make the place look a bit better. Just realized something, I kind of wanted this to have a path going between the two. Because it is an event hall, seemed to make sense, so I might have to delete that one. It's a nice building. Maybe we could move it. So let's do this. It looks like it's a 4x4, right? So show me where the... There we are. Alright, better. And then we'll just, yeah, just put in a little pathway behind the back here. Just something to give them a bit more space, I guess. And then that path can come out down the center. Got two of the same building here, so just to break it up, so, well, I mean, it might change anyway, but just to break it up, let's just move that one over there. Alright, we'll zone that appropriately. So we're going to leave a gap for commerce. Maybe more offices. So kind of on the corners have the commerce. Just keep it low density for now, and if it needs to go higher, we can always do that. Alright, let's see how that serves us. Oh my goodness, I keep losing track. What did I just click there? I keep losing track of what I'm doing. Alright. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's a little area expanding out. Oh, they don't have any water. Whoops. How's our power and stuff actually thinking about it? Electricity's good. Let's just turn this on and then turn that off so we can reset it. Sometimes some of the bars don't show. Cemetery usage is nice and low. Employment percentage is at 94, so still 6% unemployment. I would hope now, though, with these new new offices, more and more of the highly educated take these jobs. Yeah, 53 out of 53. Love to see it. Love to see it. Great. Now, very last thing, we're just going to keep it on normal speed now, and I'm going to build... I saw a couple unique buildings down here that looked good. Let's see. Something like an opera house could be quite nice down in this area, I think. Looking out over the water, opera house could be a good shout. There was one other one that I thought looked cool. I just can't remember exactly what it was. It had all these sharp angles and stuff to it. It's not a modded building. It's just... There it is. Is this it? The Theater of Wonders, and then there's also this one. The Modern Art Museum. It has to be built sideways, which is strange. Theater of Wonders fits in quite nicely too. And then maybe we could just shift it down or something. Is that too weird? Oh yeah, it's because the... Damn. Like I can't sink it down to the ground because then it would lose place here, I think. Like we could try. Yeah. It would look weird either way, I think. It's a bit too big of a building. Maybe I'll just try that opera house then instead and put it in the center on its own plateau. I just think it could look quite nice there. What is this? Oh, another stadium. Stadium could be good. Kind of makes me feel like, what goes on here? Bring the excitement of a sports game to the city by building a stadium. What kind of sports game goes on in there? It looks really small, comparatively speaking. Yeah, not a big fan of that one. I mean, the building looks nice, but just the idea of putting that there. That actually made people happy. Oh, I guess it has noise pollution. Is that why? So let's just go with the opera house. I think that could be good. It'll probably take me a bit of time, though, to build out a nice surrounding area. Oh, wow, it's big as well. Yeah. So I would say something like this. So it's all the way out there on a bit of its own platform. And we'd have some sort of road that goes out to it. Or cuts in from here, maybe. I'm just gonna have to anarchy this and hope that it works. Oh no. Okay, so if we straighten this up just a little bit, and we push this pathway a little bit back. We can now shift this just slightly over. I don't know what this is going to do to the... Oh, it's actually not connected to that area. That's good. Although the land is all messed up there. So something like that. We'll bring this over as well. Man, I get a lot of lag moving that. I guess it's because a lot of other things have to readjust because of it. Okay, kind of works. We're just slightly off. Ugh. Alright, really tedious, but that kind of works, I think. So that's going to create yet another junction here. There's so many, which is a bit of a problem. What I'll probably end up doing, though, is creating a series of timed traffic lights. There, and there. And maybe even there. That all go green at the same time, and then all go red at the same time, just to allow traffic to all flow out. That could work, but we'll see. I'll just have to monitor how it's going, I suppose. So the last thing then is just to move this down a bit. About to there. And connect across with a small road.
Something like that, I guess. Tough to say. It's such a small gap between the junction and the crosswalks here that's probably not a good idea. I don't know. Gotta just think of building this on the fly now without really thinking about it, but it's an experiment. So yeah, we could put some trees or something down in the front of it. Billboards maybe. But what I'm just gonna do really quickly, we'll just go over it and remove some of the crosswalks because there's obviously too many. Alright, so one at the edge there is totally fine by me. Okay. I'm very nervous about that, but let's just let that play. We'll see how this all goes. I have a feeling this area is going to be drowned in a lot of traffic, basically. Let's go with 18. I know there's a giant redwood on the ground there. We'll get rid of that in a moment. I just think it's a nice one to have out on the waterfront. I just think it's one of those buildings that looks good out there, so that was the main reason for it. We have to do some stuff at the back as well, flower beds, that kind of thing, to cover it up. We then have our little club scene down here, our casino looking out towards the ocean. I flipped it since the last episode. Our clubs down there, our spa, resort, and hotel. This area is now filling in with a bunch of buildings, although there's going to be this gap here. I might try to put some unique building in there, a plaza maybe. Offices have been built out now. And some of the additional hybrid offices slash commercial. Yeah, I like how the area is growing. I think that might have to be it for today. So we'll just have to check on things. We're so close to 100,000 actually. If we could just get to 100,000 really quickly, that'd be great. So the idea was, oops, I must have zoned this incorrectly. The idea was that this area here would be more low wall-to-wall housing. Not low density, but wall-to-wall district housing. So let's just get the district tool, paint this further out. And we'll just continue it along there for whatever distance. Right, so that's King Heights. Although we'll probably make it its own district in the future. But just for now, just to get a few extra houses in here. And they're not pedestrian. The other ones are. These ones are not pedestrian, so it's a bit strange. Gonna try something a little unusual. I haven't done this before, but let's just fill this whole thing. Okay, and it's gonna be wall to wall by default. Oh, it's tough to say though, because what I was thinking more, maybe I should just get rid of this actually. Yeah, that's gonna be better. All right, and then actually I'm gonna remove the zoning on this side. So I kind of saw this when I was in Amsterdam. I have to leave that side, don't I? I could put it on one side, maybe. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. Okay, cool. So I saw this when I was in Amsterdam. It's like, it's the wall-to-wall housing, but just with gaps between them. So not wall-to-wall, but this type of building. It's like these medium density. You know, it's medium density. It's not low density or high. It's this middle ground that you'll get in CS2, I guess. And if we just go with, so what is it? It's a 4x4 building. So ultimately, what we have to do is just carve out little sections. So it's, we could even leave this one blank, right, on the edge. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'd have a gap there. 2, 3, 4, gap. I'll just see how this looks. Maybe it'll look crazy, I don't know. It's uneven, I suppose, is another issue. We could go with sets of 3 every now and then. I guess I'm going to be left with one that's off, haven't I? Unless I do a couple sets of 2 or just have a big gap on the left. Well, can we try that? See what this looks like? I mean, if they are all sets of 3, it might work. That could work. Could try that. On this side, maybe we'll just leave it as sets of 4. There we go. Alright, let's see what this looks like when they move in now. We don't have much demand for residential, so it's going to be kind of tough to see what it's going to be like. Because they might not all come in for a while. And then we could have a little pathway that crosses in between some of the alleys. Not every single one, but some of them. Alright, so how's traffic now? Now that we've let time play for a while and let this area kind of filter out. So we don't have the... Oh, we still kind of have a bit of a backup here. I think it's still because of the buses that are still making their way in from before. Not much time has actually really passed. I'll keep it on triple speed. We'll see if we can flush that area out a bit. So they have to come in this way. They cut in here. Yeah, and the buses are getting backed up because there's so many people getting those buses out. So how many people are on them? 40 at a time. Wow. And there's 6 buses. 282 people waiting. So we could bring even more people out. So they're waiting now at the light. And then they can continue through in a second. It's just buses and taxis in there right now, and all the black cabs are coming from the airport. That's interesting to see that I've got so many buses and taxis and literally no private cars now that they're basically taking up the lane, like the whole lane rather than using the other ones. But I've banned them from using the other ones. I guess that's why. We could lift that as well. That might help. It's such a ridiculous amount of buses right now. Alright, these houses are starting to come in. Yes, I like this. This is good. The little gaps between them I actually think looks nice. Funny, because they are wall-to-wall buildings. And we've just crossed 100,000. So I think that'll probably be the title of the episode. Pushing to 100,000. So that's going to have to be it for this episode. We'll check back in on some of the traffic problems that we have. Although it seems to be basically getting better. Or staying up around 75 to 80. So that's pretty good, because it was hovering down low 70s before. Now we're in the upper 70s. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this seems to have worked, although this area is going to get now really busy. And I imagine that this harbor is going to be busy supplying all the commercial around this way as well. The only last thing was jobs. We're down to 2% unemployment. So clearly a lot of the unemployed were probably the highly educated, because they couldn't find the jobs they needed. So it seems like we gave them all the jobs they could possibly need with a lot of these offices out here. Our hybrid sort of commercial/office area makes it so that the noise isn't so unbearable, I guess, for a lot of the people living there, maybe. Starting to creep over a bit there. But just on the edge. We could put some trees on this street as well, I think would probably help. Just a bit. They like it. This guy liked it. He loved it. Yeah, alright, so we'll have to leave it at that. That's going to be it for this episode. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know, as we're getting kind of close to the end of this series, although I might end up continuing it beyond CS2, I don't know. We'll have to see. Very close to the release now, though, so I'll be streaming hopefully on the day that it comes out and just playing through the game, trying to learn it for one of my first or second videos. I think. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because I feel like you only have one good impression. If people are finding me for that and I'm trying to learn the game, it might be not the best, especially since all these other people have already played it. But on the flip side, it'll take me a while to learn it, because you know, so I don't know. I'll have to think about it. So let me know. If you'd like me to stream it, let me know. If you think it'd be a good idea. If not, maybe I'll just hide away for a couple of days at least, and then come start a new series with that game and see how it goes. Alright, that's gotta be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.